10 months and 10,000 miles later with the 2023 Tesla Model Y, and here's what we love and hate about the car, starting with the Frunk. This thing is a perfect size for your small carry-on baggage when you're going on a flight. It's perfect when you're getting takeout to take to your house to eat and you don't want to get any of those odors in your car. This thing has really come in clutch for those times. Also, while we're up here, let's talk about these headlights. They're super bright. They're really nice for the person that's driving. Not so nice for the person who's on the other side of the road, because there's been many times where we're driving with the normal headlights on and people flash our lights at us because they think we have our high beams on, but really they're just normal headlights. These are the matrix headlights. They kind of turn with you as you go into curves, and in a future update, they're also supposed to black out sectors of the headlight so that you don't blind oncoming traffic.
See, it's going down, down, down in that area. Man, in this area you can see so good. You can see so clear how it's dimmed down only that area with the car ahead. Wow, this is working quite nice.
Now let's talk about the paint. This pearlescent white paint is actually really nice to look at, especially in the sun. We'll throw in some footage of a sunny day with this paint. It is a bug magnet though. You can clearly see we haven't washed it recently, so if you're doing any country road driving, you're gonna collect a lot of bugs on there. Now let's talk about these doors. More specifically, these door handles. They look really nice, really sleek. They add to the aerodynamics of the car. The only problem is that they're designed to open with your left hand if you're standing on the left side of the car. So if you're on the left side of the car, you kind of have to open it with your left hand. If your hands are full for some reason, you have something in your left hand, and you try to open it with your right, it's kind of hard to do that. You kind of have to use your pinky and do that, or flip your hand upside down and grab the handle that way. But overall, I think it's a good trade-off. They look pretty cool, they're sleek, and there's no other cars on the road like it.
Alright, now moving on to the trunk, where as you can see, there's actually a pretty good amount of space back here. There's all of this, rooms, these little storage pockets back here. You can put in whatever you want. For right now we got blankets, another one on this side, and then this little privacy type of screen. I don't know, it like kind of whoever tries to look into the top, this is in the way, just in case you want to block whatever you got back here. And another cool thing to add even more storage is these seats go down, so you get a long piece of storage. It's pretty cool. The only bad thing though is that there's no spare tire, not under the Tesla or inside the Tesla, like where the spare tire is supposed to be, but instead you do got this storage back here, which is convenient. But I think I'd rather have a spare tire, because instead you have to go up and call Tesla. They have to come to you, pick up your car, or I think they might even fix it there on the road, but still it's a long hassle instead of just fixing it yourself. And boom. Next, let's talk about the cool Tesla accessories that can be added to the car. First, let's start off with the wheel covers. Initially, straight out the factory, these things, if you want them added, they're $2,000, and we're like, heck no. So we had just gotten the car, and these are actually aftermarket, and they're like around like $250, so you end up saving like $1,800. So yeah. Moving on, another cool thing you could add or you could do to this car is chrome delete. So these cool Tesla badges are initially chrome, but we ended up blacking them out. And there's a few of them around the car, like this one in the front and on the steering wheel. Oh, and another cool accessory is actually these cool like door lights. A little hard to see for right now, but we can add a little B-roll shot of it. Usually there's a little Tesla logo, which is pretty cool. And the whole point of this section is to really feel like you can personalize your own Tesla and have a real like connection to it. And since these cars are really popular, a lot of the companies tend to make accessories for the car. So there's a whole lot of them on Amazon, fucking Alibaba, AliExpress, wherever. We find a lot of them. Oh, and before I forget, another cool accessory that it actually comes with, this isn't aftermarket, but now from 2023 and on, they are starting to come with mud flaps to avoid rock chips. I'm sure that they had problems with like along this is where rock chips tend to hit. So yeah, another cool thing about that. Here are some tips to keep in mind while charging. Make sure to avoid those peak times, because electricity gets more expensive, and the more and more you charge during those times, it just starts adding up. So try to charge like during the night around 11 p.m. Also, when you're on a road trip, try to just charge up to 70%, because anything after that, it just really starts to get it really starts to take longer to charge. So just keep it to 70 and then drain it, and then back down to 0 or to 10, and then back up to 70. But if it's only for daily charging, just charge it to 80% and make sure to precondition, because it really does help out the battery.
All right, now let's get on to maintenance. This is no traditional car. You don't need to worry about oil filters or oil changes, transmission fluid. You do need to worry about refilling the washer fluid. And you got some air filters in the cabin as well. You got your cabin air filter every 2 years. Every 3 years, you need to change your HEPA filter. And every 4 years, you need to test your brake fluid. And speaking of brakes, if we make our way over to the wheels, we also don't have to change out our brake pads so often, because the regenerative braking lessens the wear and tear on our brake pads. And for your tires, make sure you get them rotated around 6,250 miles or so. Get them rotated and get them aligned. And that's pretty much all you need to worry about for maintenance. So now let's take a look at the inside.
Starting with the screen. This is basically the portal to controlling the entire car. Every function and setting is coming strictly through this screen, even opening the glove box. And for $10 a month, you can get Tesla's connectivity plan that lets you watch Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, a lot of things, even games. That $10 a month is basically like paying for an unlimited data plan for your car. From this screen, you can control the 5 heated seats, adjust your airflows, switch between driver profiles, and access your cameras, of which I believe you have 9. But for some reason, we can only get 3 on the screen. If any of you guys know how to get all 9 up on the screen, let us know in the comments.
All right, in the driver's seat, you're gonna be loaded with a lot of storage. You're gonna have 4 power window buttons. You're gonna have a storage compartment right here on your driver's door. You have a lumbar support button and some power adjustment buttons as well. And if you look down in the middle, you're gonna have a storage console right here. You can store a lot of things. If you look up, you're gonna have 2 wireless chargers, and inside you're gonna have 2 USB-C charger ports with 2 cup holders, more storage, and if you click this button on the screen, it's gonna drop down the glove box. Pretty nice. All right, so if you didn't know, in the car industry, a lot of these times you wanna go ahead and do a little squeak test. Go ahead and test out the build quality in the vehicle. So you're gonna wanna start off by pressing on these panels inside. I'm just not hearing a lot of squeakiness coming from here on the side. All right. Oh. All right, as you can see right here, you're seeing a lot of squeakiness coming from the steering wheel, which is, you know, it's not nothing too crazy, but you do definitely hear it. All right. All right, so, I mean, so far, there's nothing too crazy on these things. Not a lot of squeakiness coming from the interior panels. 8 out of 10 on the squeakiness test, because for the most part, the inside's pretty sturdy. You know, I can't really say too much about the outside, like the panel gapping. There's still sometimes there. But I mean, honestly, it's a Tesla. Like, you know, what do you expect? All right, now let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about accessories for the interior. Right here, you're gonna have a cup holder protector, which as you can see, if you look down, spotless, never been scratched, never been used, perfect. Put it back here. All right, you're gonna open this middle console. You're gonna see the Spigen tray right here, or tray organizer. Pretty nice, not sponsored by the way. Just trying to give some free information for you guys. And if you look on the screen, you may not have noticed because of how well we put it together. You're gonna have a screen protector over the whole screen. This one's Spigen as well, and it helps with the reflection. So there's not gonna be a lot of glare coming out of it. Pretty cool. Makes your life a lot easier. So make sure to pick up one of those. You know, we're not sponsored, so do as you will. All right, so a lot of times when people first look at the Tesla seats, you know, they're nice, white, bright seats, and they're, you know, they don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but the thing that everybody's worried about is, you know, how long do these last staying white? So I'm about to hop off the seat and we're about to check it out. This seat's been used the most because it's a driver's seat. So if we take a look right here, you're definitely gonna see some blue jean, some blue wearing off right here, and maybe a little bit of creasing going on right here. But I mean, that's about normal to any car. You can't really do anything about that. But don't worry, you can solve that with a wipey. It'll come right off and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And while you're in the car, you can't help but look up and just admire the panoramic roof. It's pretty nice, it's really nice, really beautiful. It adds extra space for the head. So I mean, that head clearance that you have inside the car makes you feel like you're in a full-size SUV. Pretty nice. The only con about that is that there's no sort of cover that you can slide, close, and open. So that's the negative part. But there is accessories on Amazon that you can find, like sunroof shades. Buy it, put it right on, boom, never have to worry about that again. Now let's go take a look at the back seat.
Back seat actually is really spacious. I'm around 5'9" and I have a good amount of legroom. I'm sure somebody 6 foot, I mean, probably just as comfortable as me. It's good quality. This is all nice and soft, good quality cushion. What I do like about it is that the middle seat doesn't have that weird like lump type, I guess the hump that most cars do have. And also as we said earlier, both of these 3 seats have the heated seats that are controlled from the screen. And back here you have 2 USB-C chargers, a light and a hook on each side. But honestly, this light is like really dim, so it's kind of useless. Alright, that's basically the whole car covered. Now let's get into the things that we liked and haven't liked over the past 10,000 miles.
First, it's a really fun car to drive. 0 to 60 on this is 4.8 officially by Tesla. Some people say you can get a little faster, but let's just go with 4.8. For comparison, a Dodge Charger Scat Pack will do a 4.2, a Honda Civic Type R will do a 5.1, and the Toyota Corolla GR Core Hatchback does a 5.4.
So the thing has a little bit of speed on it, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
We have also liked the Sentry mode on this car. Whenever somebody maybe keys your car, dents your car, like swings up and gives you a little door dent, hit a little hit and run or something, we know that we caught it on camera because it really does wrap around 360 and catches everything. So that little sense of security really does come in handy, and it's just a cool feature that not really any other car has.
This car is equipped with dog mode and camp mode, which dog mode is basically, you're going to run some errands real quick, go to the store, you have your dog in the car. You can leave the dog in a nice, cool environment while you're away. And it shows a picture, and it shows on the screen, your owner will be back soon, and it shows the temperature of the car, so the people won't be breaking in your cars and trying to rescue your dog when the dog's perfectly fine and smiling. The next thing is camping mode, which I mentioned before. And that's basically if you're gonna be camping in your car, you're a car camper, and you want to sleep in a nice climate controlled environment, car camp mode comes in clutch.
Also, this car is just really convenient overall. I can just hop in, put it into drive, and take off. I don't have to wait for it to warm up. I don't have to turn it on. I just get in, put it into drive, and dip. I also really like the fact that I can be anywhere. I can be just getting out of the shower, turn on the AC so that when I get into my car, it's nice and cool and I don't have to get into a hot car.
Not to mention, say you already know your schedule from like Monday through Friday, you know your schedule. You can set your car to be scheduled to start heating up at 7, so you're ready to leave in a nice controlled environment.
In a defrosted car?
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, this car isn't like other cars when it comes to maintenance, because it has this cool thing how it just updates it by itself. So it kind of like keeps up to date. Even if it's an older car, it still like tries to keep up with it. That's why the price doesn't depreciate as much as a regular car.
This car is equipped with 2 blind spot cameras, which is pretty nice because you don't gotta be breaking your neck to see, out the window basically. And what's also nice about the car is not having to stop at a gas station. So it's basically like your phone, right? You go to sleep, you plug it in, wake up with a full charge. It's exactly like this car. It's a phone on wheels. Really, really fun to drive. Really fun to own. You need to get one.
Another thing that some of you may or may not like is the simplistic design on the interior of this car. So you may have noticed it has like really no buttons at all except for on the steering wheel. That sometimes can get annoying when you're driving and you're trying to hit a button on the screen and you don't know if you missed it or if you hit it. You have to double tap to make sure that you hit it. That can be a little annoying sometimes. So that's where our negatives start with this car.
That is pretty dangerous actually, to be like just doing that double take and then be like, oh shit, I gotta check.
Yeah.
The autopilot is also good to have it, but just in certain scenarios when you're maybe on the freeway, but it isn't 100% all the time, because maybe there's like a traffic cone on the side and it'll kind of do like a little swerve or maybe like a brake check. So I mean, they haven't perfected it yet. Also, another thing, when it's on autopilot, the windshield wiper will like randomly just kind of clean the windshield even when there's no rain. I mean, I think it just senses like a little bug or something, but I mean, that's just a little thing that's in the negative. Nothing crazy, but
When we first ordered it, it didn't come standard with the charger. Not just like supercharger, no charger. It didn't come with no charger at all. So if you wanted to get a charger, then you have to buy either the slow chargers, which are like $200, $250, or you can get a supercharger for $500, but you have to figure out how to install it yourself. So that's a kind of a bad part about it. But I guess, Apple's doing it, so Tesla can do it too.
Speaking of Apple, sometimes I have my phone in my pocket and I walk up to the car you know, expecting that it's gonna unlock on its own. Sometimes it just doesn't work properly and I have to take out my phone, pull it out, hit unlock on the Tesla app to make sure that I can actually get into the car. Honestly, that might be something that's up with my phone because it doesn't happen too often, but just another inconvenience.
I don't know if it's just all Model Ys or this car specific just came with a defect, but when you're in reverse and you turn the wheel all the way to the right, the tire will hit the lining and it'll just make a ugly noise like through the car, and it's just not a nice noise.
Yeah, especially not for a brand new car.
Yeah.
And finally, this car is obviously not like a regular car, because a regular car, you can go to the gas station, you can choose to fill it up all the way and it won't harm your car. But with this car, you have to charge it at like 80%, 90% on a daily basis. So you can improve the longevity of the car battery. On top of that, you have to save at least 5% of the total battery so that you can find your way to charger on time. So that means that you only have 75% of total battery you're able to use, and which means it's around 245 miles of actual range that you can use, coming from a 326 estimated mileage that it gets. So keep that in mind.
But even with all these inconveniences that we just listed, it's still a really great car. I feel like all of the cons don't outweigh the pros. It makes your life very convenient. It's fast. It has all the tech you could ask for. And if you asked me to go back in time and go car shopping, I would probably just pick this car all over again 9 out of 10 times. So we really like the car, recommend it, and let us know if you have one in the comments.
Yep. Let us know if we forgot anything, but make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell.
We're doing this for free, so just hit the sub button.
Peace.
How does it work? We put Hush Twins at the end.
reviews for free.
We're doing Hush Twins at the end, Hush Twins clip. It's damn near free.
It's damn near free.
You asked me to go back into the future.
Oh man, this guy is selling me right now. That $10 a month is basically like buying. $10 a month is basically like, fuck.